up? Welcome back to Bear, and this is episode 13 of Open Therapy. It's a new week. It's so funny that I'm in a really, really good mood right now, but earlier this morning, didn't know if this episode was gonna happen. I have to be honest with you. This is Thursday. This is when you're gonna get the upload. This is the same day. I'm having my little drinky drink. You just saw me mix my little bloom. Feeling good. Feeling well. I did make some progress. Some of those things that I really wanted you guys to hold me accountable for. That's why we're besties. That's why I'm showing up every week, because you're showing up for me and I feel the accountability. I am very proud to announce that I am moving more. I feel like I'm taking care of myself more. I'm showing up for myself more. I'm feeling a little bit more invested and committed. And I give thanks. I have to especially shout out specific people in my life who are guiding and helping on this journey, which really has to be my journey. But support is always good. Big up Shansta every time. She was in not this episode, not the last episode, but the episode before this. That's Shani, who I go walking with, herself and my daughter. So we've gone three Sundays now, and then this week, starting on Monday, I had wanted her to do this like 12-week challenge with me. She was like, no. So she was like, all right, fine. So you want to do a challenge? She came up with something just more doable. The one I wanted to do, she had to pay for, and she was like, she's not paying for nothing more. I know. I get it. I'm paying and subscribing to something that I don't use, which I'm now contemplating that maybe I should delete. See, them look at something at my table, like so my finances, them I do better, but look at things like that. Like, why am I subscribed? I'm not use the service. It's cause it's just me just subscribe on the potential. So I want to use the service. It's like a workout service, like a. Anyway, yeah, it's a really good one too. So I really, really should use it. I just haven't been. I've been struggling to kind of have that discipline. Anyway, so she came up with this challenge. I'm not sure how long this challenge will be. But I give thanks for the accountability partner and motivation to just move every day. I think we're doing it every day. Are we just doing it in the week? I have to check with Ishani. I don't know. All right, so it's just, we're starting out with 100 jumping jacks and 100 jump ropes. That's it. So created one for day 1, created it for day 2. I missed my day 3. By the time she sent me the message that she had done hers, I'd missed my day 3, and I was like, okay, I'll double up tomorrow. So today I had to double up for day 3 and day 4. So I did 200 jumping jacks and 200 jump ropes just before this video, actually. And then I made my bloom, which makes me feel good about myself for somehow. It just makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself. Guys, don't question the logic. This is what it does. It makes me, yeah. My daughter and I went to check out this Whole Foods kind of healthy supermarket. It has interesting stuff. It's my kind of vibe. I'm the kind of person that make them something that for high protein, high fiber, a lot of things in the frozen section that appeals to me. They did like smoothie bowls, like acai bowls. They had this bloom thing. I got this coconut oil pulling rinse. You just swish it in your mouth and you can't spit it in your sink. You have to spit it elsewhere because it's oil-based, clearly. But yeah, I like adding things to my oral care routine. I'm very big on oral care. I like putting good things, nutrients into my body, like superfoods. So you'll see the superfoods coffee that I got, this bloom thing. I like anything that is female oriented. I can't get too detailed, but anything that keeps things top notch in certain areas. I won't get too detailed. That's just my vibe. I like feeling well. Yeah, all over, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Aren't you proud of me? Finally, I went to do my executive blood test or profile. Did that this morning. So I am super proud of myself. And then late last year, at the same time when I had gotten the recommendation to go have my first mammogram, which I spoke about in another video, they did also recommend that I have this executive profile done. And it's just been, all of a sudden it's been 6 months and it still hasn't been done. And yeah, so I also went last week for another follow-up for something unrelated at the same place, Quick Clinic. It's so convenient, and I find the nurses and doctors there really pleasant, and just it's a good experience. So yeah, so I went for a follow-up last week, also did some testing then, and I went this morning to do the executive profile, and I think 7 to 10 days. So yeah, we'll see what the outcome of that is. I think I've been nervous to do it as well. I hate needles, one. That's probably why I've been subconsciously putting it off. And two, the fasting bit has just been, I'm embarrassed of how dramatic I was about the fasting requirement and just how many times I just failed the fasting. You had to fast for 12 hours. That's an easy thing. But for me, who just have to put something in our mouth as soon as she open her eye in the morning, there are people who like don't eat breakfast, they'll eat until 11 a.m., 1 p.m. I'm not that girl. As soon as my eyes never open in the morning, I need to put something in my mouth. So it was difficult, and so that was a thing. And then yeah, I was nervous about what these test results will be. I don't want to go on medication for anything, so I was really trying to like get myself in order beforehand, because I know they're going to tell me I need to lose weight. I already know this. So yeah, but just decided to go, start, see where I'm at, and then we take it from there. So one win for us. If anybody out there needs to go get it done, this is your reminder to go get it done. This is your motivation to go get it done. If I can get it done, you can get it done. We can get it done, right? All right, guys. So I really just want to have a quick processing chat with you guys out loud about really for the past 2 weeks since I did the episode on friendship breakups. I've been processing and trying to do my own work and take accountability for things that, relationships that have transformed and why they've transformed and my role in the transformation. And also relationships that I'm currently in. This week, also specifically, was a heavy one, parenting-wise. And what I found in my processing and thinking is a connecting theme or pattern, So maybe I should start with the parenting one. So I have a highly sensitive child, and she's always been like this since she was born, and I have always struggled with this aspect of her personality because it's always felt so drastically different than my own. And I think a lot of focus was placed on trying to really get her to understand not that there's something wrong with the sensitivity, but that not everybody in the world is going to be a container and hold that sensitivity safe. And I think I've been really hyper-focused on getting her to prepare for the world. So where I will care 100% and try my best to nurture and cater to that sensitivity, I'm not sure the world will. People who are not your family and friends and who love you and who know you will. And in doing this, I think her experience of me has been insensitive. I believe her experience also is being misunderstood. Having lots of big feelings and not really knowing how to manage it, because she has a mother who is desperately trying to manage them for her or teach her tools that I've had to learn in my life. I'm now in the processing, I'm realizing that maybe I've hardened. Maybe people experience me as insensitive because I have hardened to become that way. I don't think growing up, those types of emotions were held in a container in my family dynamic. I don't really want to get into too much, but there was a lot of emotional distance and feeling very misunderstood, being dismissed whenever I would voice any type of concern, or I guess they would see it as being miserable or complaining. And it took just a few years, or at an early age, me realizing that there was no container or space for those feelings, and I had to kind of develop my own tools to handle those feelings while navigating the world. Right. So, I mean, my daughter has known the concept of a toolkit since she was possibly 6 or 7 years old. I've been counseling her about developing her toolkit, her emotional toolkit, to regulate herself. So she cries very easily, has always been this way. Very, very big feelings and very big expressions of these feelings. And it's normally in tears. And what she'd get was a lot of teasing, a lot of teachers that didn't quite understand what she was trying to communicate. So she would come to me thinking that they didn't understand her. And I'm like, well, I've known you since I gave birth to you, and even before, I can understand these feelings that you're feeling. But on the other hand, it was just so important for me to really try and get her to understand that you can't expect other people to understand, other people that aren't your family and your friends and who love you. And it's in my processing that I'm starting to realize that there's some trauma, there's some underlying trauma in that guidance and that direction. Yeah. I have learned that you can't expect this from other people. You can't expect to be held and supported and understood. And this has hardened me to the point of which I'm now passing this on to her. This is really just me trying to protect her, because these are the tools that I've used to protect myself. So, yeah, it's been a rough kind of lesson and week in really kind of sorting through that, because I don't really know where to go from here, so there was an issue this week, and she was adamant that I just didn't understand her experience, that she was sensitive and I'm not sensitive, and I just can't relate and I can't understand, and I just didn't get it, and I just don't, and this was scary, because I've really been intentional about the type of relationship that I've cultivated with my daughter, and how different I would like this relationship to feel than the relationship I had with my mother, which felt at times very emotionally distant, at times where I questioned whether she understood me, and so when issues like this come, it scares me. It's just, if this is just a pattern that's just about to just be rolled over into this new relationship, so yeah, that's where I'm at with the processing, and I lead on from that, which was kind of discussed 2 episodes ago in the episode on friendship breakups. Counting up the breakups that I've had in that episode, I'd never counted them up before. But when I was counting them up, I was like, but that's not enough. So I really had to be like, oh, and really kind of look at what was common among these things. I mean, if you're a common denominator, it's always best to just be like, well, am I the problem? is it me? Quite possibly. And, there's also space for it to also not just be you. You know what I mean? It can be me and it can be the other person's. It could have been the circumstances and everything that was just happening in the context. So I'm not into completely self-loathing and blaming myself, because I also am adamant about giving myself grace. And I'm also confident in the type of friend I am and the person I am to people that I really love and care for. So it's hard for me to accept any type of thinking that I was just a completely horrible, like I am a completely just horrible friend. I know with confidence that that's not true, right? But I do know that the same theme of being experienced as insensitive may be a running theme in some of those situations as well. I had a conversation, I spoke to it in that episode as well, where a friendship that was really, really dear and close to me had just kind of dwindled into something that was unrecognizable. And we had recently, I think it was last year, or was it the year before, I don't quite remember, kind of ended up in a pretty long crying conversation where we kind of hashed things out. And in that conversation, one of her statements were, you were so cold. One of her statements were that I was cold and insensitive. And out of everything in that whole conversation, which involved so much crying and so much hashing things out and so much hard truths, that was the hardest for me, because this is somebody that I truly, truly loved. And I truly felt like this person knew me. And so that's a really hard truth to hear, that this is how I'm experienced, And then I wonder, if I truly loved and felt like I showed up for this person, and this is how I was experienced. If you look at the other ones that have been broken apart or have transformed into something else, and maybe there are some of these that I put a strong boundary on. Maybe that can also be an experience of coldness and insensitivity there as well. I'm aware that there's a part of my personality that is, I'm not even sure how to communicate it, but I'm not nice. I've always proudly made that statement, but if you're looking for a nice girl to step forward for you, I'm not the one. I don't think I'm nice, but I do think I'm kind. People who really know me really know my heart and the kindness in my heart and my spirit. But I'm not nice because people think you should be nice in this scenario. I'm not nice to people who aren't being respectful to me. I'm not nice just because, in this scenario, you're supposed to be nice. Everything that I do and the decisions I make in my life is really rooted in what feels authentic, and it's conscious and intentional. And I'm just kind of wrapping my head around moving through life like this and how people around me experience that choice and how I may need to adjust and move differently. There are different choices that I can make. Maybe I need to be nice sometimes. So this is just the starting of the processing that needs to happen. But I think it's a good starting place, that I've connected the dots and I've seen a theme. And if I'm aware that this is the experience of me, and I don't want that to be other people's experience, then maybe I need to work on being warmer. Definitely with my daughter. I had a conversation with a friend about the particular situation this week, and she was explaining to me that I am working and have been working for years so hard for her to understand a concept that she's not developmentally equipped to understand at this time. I want her to know that the world is not a nice place. I want her to know that the world is not going to coddle her. I want her to armor up and protect herself. because I don't want her to be rudely awakened, to be surprised, and to be so hurt. Like I've been hurt by several situations growing up emotionally, you know. So in my quest to have her understand this as quickly as possible and to equip herself to navigate through what can be harsh circumstances, I have unfortunately created an experience that has been the exact opposite of what I'd like with her. So yeah, that's where I'm at in this processing. Maybe I'll take this to a part 3 when we reach our next step. Maybe I will invite somebody in to process this with me. But I just thought I'd share this processing with someone who may also need to reflect on their role and be accountable for their role in why relationships in their life have ended, or why the relationships currently in their life are strained and are struggling, and really to kind of process and think about how people are experiencing you, which may be different than what you intend. That's key. So thanks for hanging out with me and processing this with me, like true besties would. Appreciate you, love you, thanks. I'm sorry that you can barely see me, but next week we'll be back to regular programming with some sunlights, and I should really have a, I do have a light set up after this done. So yeah, love you, have a good week, and see you next week. Bye guys.